This week on the Scott Martin Challenge.
This is what it's all about, rough weather, big fish.
The quest for giant monster bluefin tuna continues.
That's a 1,000-pounder. That's him, man. Tony, we got him.
I swear, I think we're on Scott and John's wild adventure. I mean, this is absolutely nuts.
All I hear Mitch saying is, this is the one, the biggest fish in the school, bit your bait.
Yeah, look at that fish. Unbelievable. £14, 5 ounces.
National Guard Pro, Scott Martin.
Yeah, this is my show and my challenge. Each week I go out in the water with a different pro angler for a little friendly competition.
Scott Martin, you're going down.
No money on the line, just bragging rights.
Yeah. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
God, look at that, buddy.
About to get a little freak nasty on him.
Yeah! Woo-hoo-hoo!
Last week on the Scott Martin Challenge.
This isn't some Nova Scotia fishing vacation, boys. This is PEI at its best.
Scott Martin's most epic battle to date.
I mean, I'm 5 minutes into the day. There's fish both sides.
Scott and John Bretza took on the 1,000-pound Monster Tuna Challenge in Prince Edward Island, Canada. Located in the North Atlantic, PEI Canada is considered by many as the bluefin tuna capital of the world.
I invited Scott up to come and fish with me here in PEI. Of course, you know, we're both out for a quest for a grander. We want a giant monster bluefin tuna. But I know Scott, you know, coming from that bass side, his biggest fish is 250 pounds to date. I know that it's just burning inside of him that, you know, a few fish have broke off. And this is Scott's show. We really want to get him a fish. I've caught fish right around that 900 to 1,000 pound range before. I want to make sure I give Scott every opportunity to get on that fish.
While battling these giant monster bluefin tuna on stand-up gear,
cow.
they came up just a little short.
Oh, it might have pulled.
After going toe-to-toe with a grander, Scott's first fish broke off. John was up next with this 900-pounder.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah, buddy.
Unbelievable. Woo! He lands his fish without fail. He gets the fish both sides. It's a monster. I cannot believe my eyes when I see how big this fish is. I'm talking 900 to 950 pound fish, 115 inches long. Thing is so massive, I can't believe my eyes. Dude, look at that thing. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
Unbelievable. 900 pounds.
900, baby.
Cut him off, here.
Scott did find redemption while landing his first bluefin tuna, weighing in at around 800 pounds.
Oh, oh, really? Really? Oh.
Who's driving this truck? Me or him? My adrenaline's pumping. It's hard. My arms are burning. I mean, this thing is putting on the heat. We take that Minnkota 80, we take it up to number 4 setting. Then we move it to number 5 setting. Then the mate, Mitch, she says, take it all the way to full.
First day, Scott hooked the fish. It was a pretty big fish, and he hooked it with a Kuma Minnkota reel. The key is with this fight is that you have to put so much drag on to get the fish up. By the end of the fight, Scott had 80 pounds of drag on that reel.
Look at that thing, guys. Landing that monster tuna. Even though it wasn't 1,000 pounds, it was an 800-pound fish on stand-up tackle. That right there, that check box, checked off. Awesome feeling.
He did great on the reel. He fought them both stand-up, and he fought them rod and reel, and both times he did exceptionally well. He was getting fish within an hour. He was having great success.
Good job, dude.
Man, that was great. Man, finally.
I certainly hope that he has a better appreciation for the bluefin up here than possibly he may have before.
It's still not that 1,000-pound fish that I'm looking for. So I'm thinking, unbelievable. We got to stay here for a little bit longer. We got to put in some more time. Fortunately, we had one more day of fishing. And I'm thinking, you know what? We've got to make this happen. The 1,000-pounder has to happen tomorrow. So I was excited. finally caught my fish of a lifetime, 800-pound fish. There we go back to the dock, getting ready for another day.
What's up, man? You ready?
How are you this morning? Yeah,
good.
ready to go.
Fired up.
Wind is laid down, a little bit rainy today, but hopefully the fish will be biting like yesterday. Let's get that 1,000-pounder.
I did 500 sit-ups and 500 push-ups this morning. I'm ready for that grander.
Oh, that's great.
Hey, do or die time.
Yeah.
1,000-pounder today.
1,000-pounder today, boys.
You know, we got an early start. Tony wanted to get out maybe 30 minutes earlier than we did before. Pitch dark, we get down there to the boat. Totally opposite conditions from the first day. Dead slick calm, the flags are laying flat. We start out of the harbor there. Everything's smooth sailing. I think we're one of the first fishing boats out of the harbor that morning. We get out there thinking, man, we're gonna get out there, we're gonna get an early bite. The fishing's gonna be awesome. The fish are gonna be frothing everywhere. We get out there, I start to see boats on the horizon. I'm wondering what they are. Well, they're out here in full force today, Tony.
Yeah, we got a
Whales and
lot
everything.
of a lot of activity here today, but there's a lot of herring boats, so we're not going to be able to just throw our hooks as quick as we did yesterday. We got to have a little bit of respect for their nets, and we're just going to kind of drive around, try to find a boat on the outside edge that maybe if we're lucky enough to get a bite, we can walk clear of that mess of boats.
Sure.
Lots of herring last night by the look of the guys' nets. Lots of herring and lots of whales around. Hopefully there's
Hey, look at all the whales out there. That's so cool.
1,000-pounders out here.
And are they doing like a circle? Like they do like a seine, like a purse net?
No, they're not. No, these
It's
nets
just a
are
line
set on the
net?
bottom. Yeah, they set the nets in the bottom, and they're in amongst all those herring boats. Once a few more of them get out of the way, we'll be in a lot better shape.
He starts telling us that we might start making the run, boys, around over to the north side of the island, over where he normally fishes. I asked Tony how long of a run that is. He says it's a couple-hour run, so it's a big commitment. So I'm a little nervous about it.
We had to take a gamble. It just wasn't happening, and really amazing to see how from one day the conditions can completely change.
When we return, the quest for a 1,000-pounder continues.
It's screaming. I mean, it's going off. Everybody's running around the boat. Fish on, fish on. I'm thinking, this is it. We're going to get this done.
Oh! The Scott Martin Challenge is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here. Ranger Boats, still building legends, one at a time. Evinrude E-TEC, power, performance, and 300 hours with no dealer scheduled maintenance. And by Garmin, fight your fish, not your fish finder. This segment of the Scott Martin Challenge is brought to you by Laser Trokar, surgically sharpened hooks. Okuma Fishing Tackle, there's no stopping Okuma. And by Bob's Machine Shop, go fast, go shallow, go efficient. Make sure to follow the Scott Martin Challenge online to stay up to date with all the latest videos, fishing tips, and much more. Don't forget to find us on Facebook for a chance to win a fishing trip with Scott Martin on world-famous Lake Okeechobee.
I've seen situations like this where, you know, the fishing changes and you maybe make a decision too quick to leave, but the fishing will get better. But sure enough, Tony finally, after he talks to a few guys, we fish around the area for quite a while, Tony makes that decision to make that run. I asked Tony how long of a run that is. He says it's a couple-hour run. So it's a big commitment. To kind of pull up shop, make a couple-hour run to the other side of the island in hopes just to hook up is a big deal. So I'm a little nervous about it. You know, Tony had some good reports of some people hooking up on the north side of the island that morning. We make that corner, we stop. We start catching fresh herring that morning. We drop the sabiki rigs down, we're catching herring, we're catching bait. Because sometimes a tuna, if they're not gonna eat the cut bait, they'll eat the live bait even better. Macaira 130, 2-speed, right?
2-speed. This is the largest of the Okuma product line. Sent up here to test on the Giants and PEI with Tony.
I like it, I like it. Beautiful reel. 2-speed. I mean, that's as big as they get, basically.
That's as big as they get. 1,000 yards, 130-pound line pack on there.
Man, no stand up with that.
100 pounds of drag pressure output.
Whenever we came back around to North Lake, first thing all our boats did, there was only 2 of us at the time, was we hauled up our herring nets. So we shook the nets out, hoping that we could get some fish around. The idea of the herring net is not just to collect bait to use as chum on the side of the boat, it's also the fact that there's a massive wall of fish down on the side of the boat, and normally tuna will pick up on that and they will come to the boat, then it's easy pickings after that.
You know, it's late in the afternoon, and what Tony says, sometimes in the afternoon the fishing gets a little tough. We start hearing reports of some of the boats around us are hooking up. We're sitting there waiting, but nothing's happening. We're not seeing marks. You know, we're starting to run out a little bit of a time. I'm starting to worry, like, man, is this gonna happen?
Starting to get a little nervous though. We're starting to get a little late in the day, so hopefully something turns on in the afternoon and we get that afternoon bite.
Man, is this gonna happen? We've got to leave the next day. This is the end of our trip. Am I gonna get another opportunity at a 1,000-pound fish? We start flying a kite up to try to get the baits out away from the boat. We fly that kite up real high and that mackerel's flopping around on the surface. I keep watching it thinking, a giant bluefin tuna any minute is just gonna come up and just maul the thing. But nothing happens. All of a sudden, we make a little move. Tony goes over to one of the herring nets and pulls it up, one of his herring nets that he puts out, starts shaking it around. Him and the mate start getting what I call the dinner bell going. We keep dropping them back, repositioning the boat, watching what's going on, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, that Minnkota 130 goes off. This is a rod you don't do stand-up on. This is a rod that we sit in the chair, we strap in. This is big boy stuff. It's screaming. I mean, it's going off. Everybody's running around the boat. Fish on, fish on. I'm thinking, this is it. We're gonna get this done.
Closed captioning for the Scott Martin Challenge is brought to you by Engel Coolers, a legend in reliability. Check us out at engel-usa.com for more information and a chance to win a guided fishing trip with Scott Martin on Lake Okeechobee. This segment of the Scott Martin Challenge is brought to you by Bruiser Baits, knocking out the competition. PowerPole, swift, silent, secure. And by River to Sea, lures that produce results from river to sea.
Hey guys, this is John Bretza, Director of Product Development for Okuma Fishing Tackle. We're out here in PEI, Prince Edward Island, up in Canada, fishing aboard Tony's Tuna Fishing with Tony McDonald, one of the best captains in the world for the giant bluefin tuna. This is the best place that we know of anywhere in the world to test a big game reel like this.
Stand back. Oh, oh my gosh. 85 pounds. Wow. 85. How incredible is that?
We're pushing this drag. We've had it set up to 85 pounds of drag, really putting the wood to these fish. The reel's been holding up phenomenally. The Minnkota 130 features our dual drag system, so that's why you can get very high-end drag pressures. You're not going to get that handle binding. It gets the new T-bar handle. It's going to be oversized when it hits the market. It holds 1,000 yards of 130-pound monofilament. You get a tremendous amount of line capacity on this reel. If you're a blue marlin fisherman, a huge mako sharks, or say big yellowfin tuna, big bluefin tuna, this is the reel for you.
It's going down. Fish on, fish on! Woo!
Out of nowhere, that Minnkota 130 goes off. This is a rod you don't do stand-up on. This is a rod that we sit in the chair, we strap in. I don't know if you can do it successfully on stand-up tackle. I mean, that is hard to do. That chair, really all it is a place for me to put my feet. I'm standing up and I'm leaning back at a 45-degree angle, and the pressure of that rod keeps me out of the seat, so I really never sit down. Even though it's a chair fight, you're standing up the whole time. You're strapped to that rod, just like you were on stand-up tackle. We start fighting the fish, everything is going good. I get control. I start getting comfortable in that chair, standing up, putting the right amount of pressure on. John's behind me, he's supporting me the whole way. He's coaching me through what to do. The mates are saying, good job. Everything's going great. 40 minutes into this fight, we're getting the fish in, we're getting it close, Get the fish within leader range. And I'm thinking, this is it.
Ah! Ah! Dang it!
The fish makes this one tremendous run, and what happens? The fish pulls off. We didn't get it. It's over. It's time to go. And Tony says, boys, we got to go in, but I got some time tomorrow morning. If you want to sneak in, we'll run out. The weather's supposed to be bad, but we'll go out there. We'll give it one last ditch effort to see if we can't get Scott that 1,000-pound tuna.
I swear, I think we're on Scott and John's wild adventure. I mean, this is absolutely nuts. I don't see how Captain Tony's going to make it through the channel.
Oh my God.
When we return,
This is what we came out here for, right here.
Unbelievable.
the quest for a 1,000-pounder continues.
Fish on, fish on! Woo! That's a 1,000-pounder. That's him, man. Tony, we got him.
The Scott Martin Challenge is brought to you by P-Line, delivering the leading edge of quality, high-performance fishing line. Hendry County Tourism, and by Startron, enzyme fuel treatment cures and prevents ethanol fuel problems.
What's up, guys? I hope you're enjoying this great tuna action. I tell you what, my arms are still sore, but I'm back to reality now. But I wanted to share a great product line with you guys. Startron, I use it in all my boats, all my power sports, my vehicles. It prevents ethanol problems. I tell you what, this stuff is awesome. And StarBrite line of cleaners, everything from rust stain remover to the super green to boat polishes, everything. StarBrite has all your bases covered. So for more information about these wonderful products, please check them out online at the website below. Let's get back to the action. Hey, I might miss my flight. I might not catch another one ever in my life, but you know what? It's worth it. So we show up the next morning at the dock, first thing early. It's spitting rain, it's overcast, the wind's blowing, the temperature's dropped 20 degrees. Most of the other captains are sitting there, hanging back at the dock, watching us go through the harbor thinking, those guys are crazy. You know what I kept thinking? You're right, we are crazy, because we got the quest for the 1,000-pound tuna. That's all we care about.
We're going out of the port, and I swear, I think we're on Scott and John's wild adventure. I mean, this is absolutely nuts. I don't see how Captain Tony's gonna make it through the channel.
We start heading out through the harbor. I'm talking 8, 9, 10-foot waves. Here we go through the waves, just crashing. I'm hanging on for dear life.
I was determined to get Scott this 1,000-pound monster giant bluefin. It is dangerous at times, but luckily when we get out there, things work for the best.
This boat's built tough, 45 foot long, but it's giving it all she's got. We pull up to one of the marks that Tony has. Sure enough, he sees fish all over the graph.
The fish came right to the surface. The key was there was no herring boats feeding them all night. It was too rough, and they were very, very hungry today.
No way. Look at the water boiling up.
There's more fish here than we saw yesterday.
Oh, look at that one.
We start throwing chunks of herring over. As we're throwing the chunks of herring over, 600, 700, 800-pound, 1,000-pound fish cutting back and forth through the water.
Oh my gosh.
This is what we came out here for, right here.
Unbelievable.
Oh my. Oh my.
Dude, that's a 1,000-pounder. That's a grander, dude. That was a grander.
They're coming up higher in the water.
Unbelievable. Hook's going down. Fish on, fish on. Woo!
And bam, he's hooked up. He's into that fish. Man, I'm so happy for him. He's so excited.
All I hear Mitch saying is, this is the one, dude. It was the biggest fish in the school. Bit your bait. Might be the 1,000-pound fish.
Nowhere else in the world can you hand feed 800 to 1,000-pound bluefin on a regular basis except PEI.
Wow. It's the place, man.
This is the place.
The Mecca. The tuna Mecca.
I'm hanging on for dear life. And all I can do is just pray, please stay hooked up. Please stay hooked up. Don't come off. We start bumping the drag up a little bit, 40 pounds, 50 pounds, 60 pounds. We start gaining a little bit on this fish. Tony says he's bumped up the line on this one to 400-pound test leader. So I'm thinking, if we can at least get the leader, I think we got a good shot at landing this fish. So I'm sitting there strapped in, and what do I see after 45 minutes of fighting this fish? I see the swivel come out of the water. And as I see that swivel, I realize 20 more feet to go. Mitch reaches out and grabs that leader. I'm strapped in, makes a big giant run. Sure enough, Mitch has to let go. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, the fish is gonna get away. Mitch grabs the leader again, pulls the fish up both sides. We've got the fish.
That's what we came for, man. John, you got him, dude. Woo! I'm fired up, man. Unbelievable fight. Unbelievable fight.
Steven jumps out, takes a big tail hook, wraps on the fish. They say, all right, Scott, jump out of the chair.
Yeah! Look at that fish. Unbelievable. That's him, man. Tony, we got him.
I asked Tony, how big is it? He says it's 1,000 pounds.
Is that the one? That's the one. Woo! Yeah! We got it, man. We got him. 2 days worth of it, Tony. Thank you so much, man. John, we got it, buddy.
Nice work, man.
We got it.
So my quest for the 1,000-pound fish is complete. We decided to go ahead and let that fish go. Tony's already used his quota tag for the year. All we can do is take beautiful pictures, reminisce about this fish, to be caught again another day. We cut the line, fish swam off.
All right. Woo!
Man, awesome work on the leader. Man, Mitch was working.
Man, we did it.
Being able to catch that fish today, that grander, on that Minnkota 130 might be the only way of doing it. That's the biggest reel on the planet. Has the most amount of drag on the planet.
The Minnkota 130 held it, man. We
love
kicked
it.
its butt, dude. Awesome, awesome, awesome. We got it done, the 1,000-pound Grander Quest Challenge 1. Awesome.
I'll tell you what, this trip could not have been any better. I want to thank Tony from Tony's Tuna Fishing. I want to thank John Bretza from Akuma Fishing Tackle, one of my great sponsors, for building such good equipment. This was just a trip of a lifetime. I tell you what, I cannot wait to go back next time. Hopefully John will invite me back. I did get him. You know, I've got a 1,000-pounder. His was only, you know, a small 900. It was an unbelievable trip. Cannot wait to do it again. For more information about how and where we fished it, be sure to check out fishhound.com, your best resource for great fishing.